Hi, good afternoon. This is Frances Mahan. I thought I'd bring up the fact of why are so many people having a difficulty finding their soulmate or establishing a relationship today. Have you wondered about that? Well, the world is changing, we are growing, we are becoming more consciously aware of who we are. And relationship requires a lot of time, effort, dedication, loyalty, authenticity. And the world is becoming more or less, I should say, transparent than it should. We individuals, we the habitants of this world. Could it be perhaps because there is so much temptation out there that women have changed the way they believe they should behave, the way of dressing, expressing themselves on social media and off, as well as men becoming more forward with whom they are in their masculinity, nonetheless enticing young girls to believe what is not through dance, sexual expression, and provocative ways on social media. Of course, we all have the freedom to do as we please. And that is where free will comes to be the primordial essence of why people are spiritually unplugged. See, the meaning of spiritually unplugged is being disconnected from God, not having faith, trust, and not being a follower of any specific religion, but just saying, I have free will and I am God. If I were to proclaim that I am God, I have to be perfect, have no sins, no judgment, have full compassion, surrender everything, live a life that does not require money, abundance, greed, or anything. Just exist in this world as a prime example of who God is. And that is nearly impossible in today's society. You see, the fact that people have become spiritually unplugged is the main reason why they are doing as they please. They believe that they have the right to express themselves in any way, whether it is vulgar, provocative, and unacceptable, through moral degradation of expressions of words. How can you, as an individual, whether it is a man or a woman, believe that you're going to find your soulmate in an encounter that is conducive of alcohol, sexual immorality, a one night stand, a greed perception of what reality is? Thinking that because you meet somebody that has a fancy car, has a lot of money, and is an influencer, is going to transform your life. My friends, there is a price to be paid for all that. Nothing comes easy, whether it is in the beginning or the end. Let's see, for example, the new discovery of people that have lived a very degrading life, a very demoralized lifestyle, whether it is in Hollywood or outside of Hollywood. Money is not a curse. Money is not filthy. It is the way by which we use it to influence, to treat others, to buy, to sell, and trade, which we know is one of the cases today. You see, many have been confronted with the reality that God is in control. We are not. We all think we have free will and we can do whatever we want, but today, what we're seeing happening, and I'm not mentioning any names, is the primordial essence why we are disconnected. And as long as we have no faith, no trust, and no loyalty, it's nearly impossible to establish a relationship that has foundation and is concise enough to produce anything worthwhile. This is why people meet and they're disappointed, their expectations are high because they are seeking outside themselves for something they do not have. I am so glad that I no longer care for the idea of seeking for anything outside myself, whether it is popularity, being famous with a book, or hitting the bestseller, it matters not. You see, the message here is how much have I, as an individual, developed in this world to be able to know, to confront, to understand, and to have intuition sufficient enough to know what is out there. I'm not demeaning anyone by saying they are not individual worthy of myself. However, I know that the fact that people have changed and there are very few that remain loyal and authentic has created a new wave of disappointment for relationship, family, business. Isn't it so common that people betray themselves rather than create a loyal relationship, create something that has validity, foundation, and is worthy of dealing with? It's so sad. And I believe, not because I'm older, that there's got to be an end to all this. You know, while some say it's the end of the world, which that is the end of one transition, where another one has to evolve in order for things to change. Either we as individuals change or change is coming to transform us as individual. And we either going to accept it or we are going to vanish with it. It's almost the idea of good versus evil. Because there are forces stronger than ours that control this universe. That force determine how far are we going to go, unplug on our own way with our own free will before we ourselves destroy our own society. Something has to change. You see, this book was written so that we know that in the year 2030, things are going to be very different for us. From the encounter of spirituality to the confrontation of artificial intelligence to a new earth. Perhaps we're going to reach a different dimension, a different level of spirituality, a different level of understanding and consciousness to know that we're not in control. That if we follow a path that has faith, trust, belief, confidence, eventually we get to where we want to go. Isn't it a fact that instead of holding on to something, when you let go of everything and surrender to what is, you eventually reach the ultimate level of success, the purpose for being, the who I am, the God-like image. Because in order for you to be successful, you have to be a God-like image. You can't just be yourself. You cannot be what you're meant to be unless you are a God-like image. So, in the essence of saying, oh, we cannot find a partner, look within yourself, it's not so much what am I looking for, then how much do I have to offer as an individual? How much have I changed? Am I the same person that I was 10 years ago? Or have I changed with the transition of time to become a better human being so that I myself can be proud of who I am and know that I have something to offer that is better than my ignorance of not knowing who I really am? So, my friend, getting to know thyself first. It's not about seeking for that soulmate. It's about knowing who are you. How perceptive are you to understand what is happening in the world, what is transitioning, in order for you to follow not evil, but the right way of being as an individual. So that in a community of spiritual human beings, you can become the best version of yourself. I hope that this video has helped someone understand the reasons why we are not connecting to our soulmates. Why is it that we're seeking for something outside ourselves? And have you done a thorough examine of who you are as a human being, an individual, like person? Let go of the control that you think you are God and you are free will and can do whatever you want to do. Because in the end, there are consequences to it. Look at the example of today's society and what is transcending. Have a wonderful day. This is Frances Mahan. It's been a pleasure as usual to be here with you. Love and light.